Good day, geographers, and welcome to another lesson in our geography lecture series. I'm your host, Donovan Rattray. Today's topic is direction by compass. The compass has a total of 16 points, 4 cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, 4 intercardinal points, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, and 8 secondary intercardinal points, north, northeast, east, northeast, east, southeast, south, southeast, south, southwest, west, southwest, west, northwest, north, northwest. So how do we determine our compass direction? First of all, we must determine the from point. The from point is the place that follows the word from in a statement or in a question. For example, state the direction of the school from the police station. The police station is considered to be the from point or our point of observation from which we'll be taking the direction of the other place, since it comes after the word from. Then we must also distinguish the point from which you want to find the direction. In this case, we want to find the direction of the school. At the from point, we will draw a 4-point compass through our from point. This will be achieved with the use of a pencil and a ruler. We continue the use of the pencil and the ruler to connect both points by a straight line drawn from the center of our 4-point compass, which was drawn through the from point. Then finally, we will determine the compass direction based on the position of the line connecting the 2 points using the 16-point compass principle. Now, let us demonstrate how this is done. Here's the question. What is the direction of point A from point B? Point B is our from point, or our point of observation, from which we will take the direction of point A. Next, we will draw a 4-point compass through point B. And this will be done by the use of our pencil and ruler. Continuing the use of our pencil and ruler, we will then draw a straight line connecting point A to point B, and this will be drawn directly from the center of our 4-point compass. Please ensure that your 4-point compass is drawn straight and is not tilted or leaning in any direction. This is to ensure accuracy of direction. Based on our knowledge of the 16-point compass, the direction of point A from point B is northwest. To prove this is the case, however, a 16-point compass is superimposed behind the 4-point compass at point B. The line connecting point A to point B runs along the northwest point. So there you have it. We can see, therefore, that the direction of point A from point B is actually northwest. Now, just as a point of reference, if the line passed anywhere in this shaded area right here, it is still considered northwest, because northwest is actually anywhere in that area, all right, as well. All right, let's take it a step further. What is the direction of the electricity station from the quarry? Through the quarry, a 4-point compass is drawn, since it is our from point. Then a straight line is drawn from the center of the 4-point compass that is through our quarry all the way to the electricity station. We can assume that the direction of the electricity station from the quarry is south-southeast. To verify this, we place our 16-point compass behind the 4-point compass drawn through the quarry. And there it is, south-southeast, right on the point itself. So we can safely say then that the electricity station's direction from the quarry is south-southeast. Okay, let's take it a step further. What is the direction of Fort Charlotte from the church at Richmond? Since the church at Richmond is our from point or our point of observation, a 4-point compass is drawn through it. Then, from the center of this compass, a straight line is used to link the church to Fort Charlotte. Based on our 16-point compass principle, we can assume that the direction of Fort Charlotte from the church at Richmond is north-northeast. To be certain, however, our superimposed 16-point compass is placed behind the 4-point compass. As we observe, the line connecting the church to Fort Charlotte is positioned in this shaded area between north-northeast and northeast, which means that the direction of Fort Charlotte is located north-northeast from the church at Richmond. Alright, let's try another one. What is the direction of the road junction at Greenland from the bridge at Q? Because the bridge at Q is our from point, we will draw a 4-point compass through it. Then connect the bridge to the road junction by a straight line drawn directly from the center of our 4-point compass. There it is. Upon close observation, the road junction is located southwest from the bridge at Q. This observation is further cemented by our 16-point compass placed behind our 4-point compass. This shows that our line that is drawn from the bridge to the road junction, passing through the shaded area right here, is covered by southwest. Okay, now we've come to the end of this lesson. Now we're going to move on to another lesson. One is another way of giving direction is direction by angular bearing. Now, the direction by angular bearing is used to give an exact direction of a place. It is expressed in degrees between 0 to 360 degrees. The bearing is read in a clockwise direction using a protractor. All places that are located east are between 0 degrees and 180 degrees. All places west are between 180 degrees and 360 degrees. Here is the instrument that we use to help us in determining bearings. It's what we call the protractor. This too is also a protractor. It's a 360 degree protractor, and as you can see, we read our bearings in a clockwise direction from 0 all the way back around to 360 degrees. So how do we find the bearing? Well, first of all, we must distinguish between the from point, or our point of observation or point of origin, and the point from which you are seeking the bearing. Example, state the bearing of point B from point A. A is the from point or point of observation, while B is the point for which we are seeking the bearing. Next, we draw a straight vertical line through the from point. Next, connect the 2 points by a straight line. Then we place a protractor along the vertical line drawn through the from point. And finally, we will obtain our bearing by the use of the protractor. Okay, let us now find the bearing of point B from point A. Since point A is our from point, or the point from which we will be observing the bearing of point B, we will draw a vertical line through point A using our pencil and ruler. Please ensure that this vertical line is drawn perfectly straight. If it is inclined or tilted in any direction, it will produce an inaccurate bearing. Do not draw it too short either. Draw it long enough to facilitate accurate placement of the protractor. Next, draw a straight line from the center of the from point directly to point B, with the aid again of your pencil and ruler. We will now place the protractor on the vertical line drawn through point A, just like this. Ensure that the black line along the base of the protractor is properly aligned with the vertical line drawn through point A, and the center of the protractor, which is right here, is also on the from point. We now observe that the line linking points A and B correspond to the angle 111 degrees. Therefore, the bearing of point B from point A is 111 degrees. Okay, what is the bearing of the tourist office from the reservoir? Having distinguished between the point of observation, which is our tourist office, and the point for which we want to get the bearing, which is the reservoir, we then draw a straight line through the tourist office. Then we draw a straight line from the tourist office to the reservoir. We must now place our protractor properly along the vertical line passing through the tourist office, once again ensuring that the center of the protractor is on the tourist office. The line that connects the tourist office to the reservoir passes through the angle 152 degrees. Therefore, the bearing of the reservoir from the tourist office is 152 degrees. What is the bearing of Farm A from Farm B? We draw a vertical line through Farm B. Then from Farm B, a straight line is drawn to Farm A. The protractor is placed properly on the vertical line with its center on Farm B. Upon close observation, we see that the bearing of Farm A from Farm B is 32 degrees. Since the line linking Farm B to Farm A passes through 32 degrees angle. Whatever the place for which you are trying to seek the bearing is located left or west of the from point, then the process of obtaining our bearing is reversed. For example, what is the bearing of point B from point C? As per usual, the vertical line is drawn through the from point C. We then connect point C to point B by a straight line. Then we invert the protractor and place it carefully on the line that is passing through point C. We must also ensure that the line that is at the base of the protractor is properly aligned with the vertical line drawn through point C, and it is centered. Since we have 180 degrees on this side, we must now find this angle right here. Since the line that links point C to point B passed through the angle 70 degrees, our angle is therefore 70 degrees. We now add 70 degrees to 180 to give our bearing of 250 degrees. Therefore, the bearing of point B from point C is 250 degrees. Okay, calculate the bearing of point A from point C. Having already drawn our vertical line through point C and connected point C to point A and carefully placed our protractor on the vertical line passing through point C, the angle obtained right here is 105 degrees. Therefore, 105 will be added to 180 degrees. Therefore, our bearing is 285 degrees. Even if we use a 360-degree protractor, as you can see, the result will be the same. The only difference is that you don't have to add 180 degrees to whatever angle you have obtained on the other side. Okay, now let us try to find the bearing of the agricultural center to village A. So we draw our straight line through the agricultural center and then we connect it to village A. Next, we place our protractor right there, already inverted, so you can see the 0 is south, 180 degrees is to the north. Now the angle that we have obtained is 64 degrees. So we're going to add 64 degrees to 180 and our answer is 244 degrees. That is the bearing of village A from the agricultural center. Next, we want to know the bearing of the hotel resort from the bus station. So we drew our line right through the bus station and connect it to the hotel resort. We place our protractor right there and we have obtained an angle of 123 degrees. So we add 123 degrees to 180 and our bearing is therefore 303 degrees, which is the bearing of the hotel resort from the bus station. Alright, there we have it. We have now come to the end of our overall presentation. I hope you enjoyed learning about giving directions using the compass and also giving direction using angular bearings. Now there's a follow-up video on how to use both compass direction and angular bearings to give an accurate direction, especially where the compass is concerned. You can follow that up on my YouTube channel. But I hope you also learned something new in today's presentation as well, and that you can go ahead and master the skills of giving direction with angular bearings and compass direction. So continue to love geography with all thy might. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great day.